I think it's recording. Anyways, hello everybody. It is I, Lucky Ram. This is me, and today I'm going to be trying to show you how to use these textures over here. I was gonna do like a bigger tutorial showing you some like cool instances, but it's gonna take a little bit of a long time, so I don't know. I'm gonna probably scrap it. Anyways, so you've seen these surfaces everywhere, right? With the brain, right? With everything, and how sometimes they're not very useful. So today I did some findings on somewhat how they're used in all Roblox. I classified them, although it's not really how you're supposed to do it. But anyways, so let's start off with this one right here. This thing, the stud texture. Pretty simple ruling. It just goes on top of the bricks. Uh, yeah, you mainly want to use it on top of bricks. Okay, so like when you create a new part, let's say new part. So when you create a new part, it will automatically uh, have a stud texture. No, that's a stud texture. Stud texture in the top and an inlet texture in the bottom. Okay. Oh well, that's how it was before they made a new part which removes it. Also, you won't have this surface window over here in Studio. That's because of something that we'll see in a minute. But yeah, I'll show you how to open it in a second. So yeah, studs go top, inlet to bottom. There's not really a way to have studs in the front unless you did something like this, for example. But then again, it's not really. It wasn't really used for decoration, honestly. And if people rotated it like this, then it was to put a decal or something like that in it to make it like decorative. But yeah, that's how you use the stud texture, and by extension, this inlet one. Now, this thing over here, the universal texture, is something that is a little bit hard to track down, okay? There aren't many records, not even in this map that I have over here, which is like a remake of Roblox Art Place. It wasn't really used frequently. However, where it was used, it was for decoration, but also somewhat of a mechanic is how I'll put it. For example, there's this map which I cannot find. It is a classic Roblox map that has like a crossing river. There's like a temple in front, and over here there's like some trees and bushes. The bushes were made of this texture. There were balls. Okay, imagine that this looks something like this. Okay, looks something like this, and they were made like that. That is an old example of how they were used. But honestly, you want to use this sparingly. You don't want to use it everywhere. This is how you use these three main textures. Moving on to the next ones being the weld and the glue texture. These look identical, but before the glue texture just have the little decal on it. I could pull it up real quick, but not right now. There is a difference between the weld and the glue, aside from their original appearance, which the weld had like a glue texture on it. The weld, there's this instance called weld. Okay, when you drag a part to, let's say, a wall, by dragging it, it will automatically make this part, this specific face, which is hitting this other block, it will make this face, let me find it real quick. It'll make this face a weld texture. It won't make it for the other one, only for this one. And then the brick that it is colliding with, it will create inside of him this weld instance. So part 0 will be this guy, I mean this guy, and then part 1 will be this guy. And yeah, it it does something like that. And no matter how much you move this part, it will also move with the other thing. It was kind of annoying to deal with, so you can kind of see it better in Retro Studio and stuff. Well, I actually broke the... Yeah, if you move the part, it breaks the weld, so that's another thing. But yeah, that's how that works. The glue, on the other hand, it kinda acts as a weld. There is a difference, so it is with these things, which apparently determine the face of the glue thing. So what I can get is that the glue works exactly like a weld, but it can be breakable. It's not like um welded. It's like glue. You can rip it apart with enough force. But yeah, kind of got scrapped and stuff. So yeah, that's how you use these two. You use weld if a part is hit on another thing. Now we have these two surfaces which may look identical initially, just like these other two, but this one is made fully out of smooth texture, and this one is made out of smooth no outlines. So apparently, a long time ago, smooth used to have outlines, but they eventually kind of removed them. So these two are identical. There is one thing that differentiates them, though. In Roblox Studio, if you have all of its surfaces set to smooth, it will close up this tab, so you don't use the classic textures because modern Roblox. Um, but if you put it to smooth outlines, it doesn't happen. Personally, I use this, so it's a lot more convenient when editing. But yeah, and if you wanna get quickly these textures and stuff, I could honestly tell you, oh yeah, write a command here, like what was it? Instance the new. So you say, oh yeah, I want a part, please, and then this part will make it have like the surface of it, like to just go in toolbox and just search stud part. Yeah, stop. Yeah. No, sorry, my mistake. The search stud part and that's it. Just pull the first result to get these. So that goes for these five surfaces. Now, onto these last two, which are special. This is a hinge, okay? When you put a hinge into a wall, it will essentially act as a hinge. So, this thing will do revolutions as itself. So it will like it will be like dangling like this. And so if you put force here, it will like tilt and like be spinning and stuff. Yeah, that's what a hinge does. Now, over here we have a motor. What the motor does is the same thing as a hinge, but it does it automatically. So like it will be always doing this regardless of a force applied. However, I think if you step on it, it does affect this rotation, but whatever. The thing is, I will be doing this without necessarily being affected by any force. Uh, yeah, that's that. And then there's this one. So this one is a motor. This one's a hinge. This one's a stepping motor. I don't exactly know what a stepping motor is. Perhaps it's this velocity motor thing. But what is interesting, so oh yeah, some of these instances are paired up with some of these surfaces are paired up with instances like you see with the glue and with the weld, which I kind of disappeared. I'm guessing that this stepping motor was paired up with this velocity motor instance, and this velocity motor has this thing called a hole, and a hole is also an instance. Is This is a secret instance in Roblox Studio that you can only access via instance.new, which is the one that I was gonna write down here. Yeah, so this thing is a hole, and this hole you can change out the face of the thing, so it can be on the top and stuff. You can also change how this is centered. So if I change this to left, uh, yeah, so you have center, so it puts the hole in the center. You have edge, which will put it in the edge of the thing, and then you have inside, which will put it like one stud apart, regardless of its size. One stud. This thing apparently, from what I'm guessing, it connects to one of these. Like it connects like these, and I guess it's to, I don't know, stepping fixes or something like that. Regardless, it is a thing that exists, and I just wanted to let you know that. These are all the surface. What am I dragging? The base plate? So these are all the Roblox surfaces over here. But I still want to explain some other stuff, which is some cool stuff that I found. This thing is a floor wire, also hidden instance. The floor wire has some properties here. It has the color of the wire. You can change it to whatever. Let's make it black real quick. Yeah, that's cool. I'm actually 70. So you have a texture you can put in, and if you put a texture, it will be like a beam that will go all the way over here. You have a cycle offset to offset the how the things work. You have a from part, which is the starter, and then the to part, which is how it ends. And then there's stuff between textures, pretty self-explanatory. The velocity of the texture. Wow, it looks like it's kind of going backwards actually. How fast I made it. Bro, undo! Okay, whatever. And they have the wire radius, which you can make it really thick and stuff. Oh my god, okay. Done, there you go. And what is interesting about this floor wire is that it's literally a wire that's in the floor. Look at that. It automatically generates in Studio. It'll make like a path, like a floor wire, and put it like that. If you put a part in front of it, it'll actually create its own path. Just look at that. So you can make it kind of twisty. Like the, oh yeah. And if it just cannot reach it, it will just create a stereo beam to it. It's a pretty interesting instance, don't you think? Look at that. Kind of swaggy. Anyways, I messed up with this a little bit too much. Um, okay, this is a little bit broken, but this is a part lasso. So there are two instances for it. There's one that is a point, so it is like in a position in the world, while the other one requires a part. So yeah, you need the starter thing will be a humanoid, which will be a guy like this, for example, and then you parent it to one of the other two. But it's kind of broken, so it doesn't work. So just imagine that there's like a cylinder that connects these two, and that's it. For instance, um, over here, I mean myself, nothing really interesting, except for the head. In the head, I added the dialogue and the choice one. Not much. This is something used in Roblox. I just want to mention that. Flag extend. I guess one of the last things I want to show. Let's go with this actually. Uh, so you're probably familiar with meshes, right? There's something called mesh part, but before that you have special meshes, which you can put your own mesh ID. There's some predefined meshes, which are just kind of like the default parts and stuff. But there are these two other ones. There's the block mesh and the cylinder mesh. The block mesh is just like a block, it's like this block. What makes it so special back in old Roblox is that you can do special things like offsetting it, like by zero 0.5 and stuff, or even really low numbers like 0.5 and stuff. So you can be very precise with it. A difference to these parts, which uh, before uh, there were different many ways to like make this symmetric. I don't want to do this video anymore. This will not cut it.